So for the first time in 4 years, I believe, Halestorm have returned with a brand new album, Back from the Dead. And I mean, I don't want to make it sound like me saying, oh, they sure are, meant that they were dead in the first place. They usually stay consistent with releasing things, and I think since it took them a little longer this time, that was the whole point of the, title. Even though, again, COVID hit, so a lot of artists push things back and are releasing something for the first time in a good bit here in 2022. This is an 11-track album, and it's fairly short for what it is. You're not going to find a song past the 3-minute and 43-second mark. It definitely goes by quick, but it's one of those quick albums that you just absolutely just love going through. In the end is really the only song I found to be my least favorite, and not because it's like terrible by any means, but just because I think it was a song for me that I just wasn't feeling the most, and that is Psycho Crazy. It has nothing to do with the topic at hand. It's just one toward the end of the album that did feel more like filler than anything else, but really the only song on this album that felt like filler. Then in my OK tracks, we have Strange Girl and I Come First. Those are two songs that, again, kind of, I guess, do their job in some way, but when it comes to my favorites, they definitely don't beat that. However, I do like how on the song Strange Girl, Lizzie Hale talks about how back then people would always tell her, oh, she's strange, this and that, you gotta do this, this, and this, but really she just found out how to be herself, and if that means being strange, then so be it. I think it's a good message to send out there to people, like, don't let people dictate who you are, you dictate who you are yourself, so I can definitely appreciate that. Then my favorite tracks include the title track, which is the kickoff. Excellent. I just love the way that Lizzie Hale's wails to start the album. She just goes at it, and then that's when everything just starts to kick in, and you're just absolutely attached from the beginning. Wicked Ways is nice and catchy. Then we have Brightside, the Steeple, which I think has one of the more breathtaking choruses on this record. Terrible Things, My Redemption, Bombshell, which I don't know, kind of tales on the edge of new metal in some way or another. It's something like I've never heard from them before. And then Raise Your Horns is the finisher, the more piano-driven song led by Lizzie Hale's vocals, which I must say, even at almost 40 years old at this point in her career, I almost said Haley Hale, that would have been very wrong. Lizzie Hale can wail very, very well. This is the best I think I've heard her vocals on any album, and that's not to say that's a bad thing. Again, I think she's always had great vocals, and for the way she sings, it definitely can wear the voice out a lot, but she seems to be stepping more and more, not out of her comfort zone, but just she keeps going up with it, and every single time it just keeps impressing me. You'd think at her age her vocals would start to not necessarily disintegrate, but you would tell that there's a difference and that there would be, something going on, but in the end I think she keeps improving upon that with each release, and it's getting better to the point where they can make more songs like this. There was times where she was screaming like I've never heard her scream before. She was singing like I never heard her sing before. It just felt super, super genuine as opposed to the genuine that we've gotten from them in the future. So overall, I would say this is a good job, a good, I don't even want to say return to form, because again, they usually sound like this. They don't necessarily change their sound a whole lot. Sure, they'll do different things, but you can still tell it's them in the end. They'll mix a lot of alt-rock together with grunge, and there was some guitar riffs that reminded me a lot of Avenged Sevenfold, which they've done before, a lot of older thrash metal bands as well, so they just mix a lot of things together, but they still keep it as them, and it's still easy to identify. So overall, this album was enjoyable. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Would definitely recommend for those who are definitely questionable about it, but obviously the fans are going to go listen to this thing anyway, because that's just what fans do. But you guys can tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this album? What were your favorite tracks, your least favorite tracks? And until then, stay safe out there, wear your mask, get vaccinated, and I will catch you all in the next one.